Okay, thank you.
Hello. Hi, welcome to our August meeting. It's 7:05. We had executive session, and Flager, can you tell us about what?
We discussed personnel, litigation, and labor matters.
Okay, if everyone could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have a full house today. Scott, can you get, or somebody get the sign-in sheet? So Virginia, can you do roll call? Virginia?
Yes, I'm here.
Can you do roll call?
Absolutely, yes. Mayor Gary Wallace,
Present.
Councilwoman Engelhardt,
Present.
Councilwoman Laurel,
Present.
Councilwoman Johnson,
Here.
Councilwoman Kelso,
Here.
Councilman Kinney,
He had a work emergency, so he won't be here today.
thank you, Ellen. Councilman Lubin,
Here.
Councilman McKee,
Present.
and Councilman Robinson.
Present.
And our borough solicitor,
Present. Adam Flager.
thank you, Adam. And Mr. Dillon,
Present.
thank you. All right, thank you very much.
Okay, so tonight it's very exciting. We are swearing in two new full-time officers, Officer Christopher J. Carlin and Officer Michelle Williamson. So Mayor, do you want to do the swearing in? Officers, can you come forward? Welcome to Morrisville Borough. Did the officers in the back want to come up as well? I know, right? Stand around them. Support your fellow officers. What do you think, audience? Don't we have a nice motley crew? Is there someone here to hold the Bible for Officer Williamson?
Yeah. Oh, I did do it backwards. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's my fault. Right? You think I would have this down by now, right? Thank you. All right. So you repeat after me, Michelle. I,
Michelle Williamson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties
and that I will discharge the duties
of my office with fidelity.
of my office with fidelity.
Congratulations. Good, hurry up. The second one will be perfect. You'll repeat after me. I
I, Christopher Carlin,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties
and that I will discharge the duties
of my office with fidelity.
of the office with fidelity. Of my office with fidelity.
There you go. Awesome. Congratulations. We're very excited to have you both. Full time now, Michelle, welcome onto the crew. And then Chris, so good to have you. Thank you to all of you. I'm going to grab a quick photo.
I know y'all like each other. Right? Nice to see all our officers up here. Next, we have Yvonne Kowalski. She's a Community Engagement Officer with the Bucks County Human Services Division. They're going to do an annual food drive from September 16th to November 1st, and she wants to place a food collection box at Borough Hall, so she's here to talk about it. But before you do, if there's people here that we're just here for the officers, you're welcome to stay at our meetings. Otherwise, you're welcome to leave. I'm sure you want to go celebrate with them. Thank you for coming. Okay, Yvonne.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. Before I begin, I would like to thank you for all the support and the wonderful partnership that you all have been having with the Department of Human Services and our co-responder program. So thank you for that. I oversee the co-responder program and our county hub, so I am very, very happy with our continued partnership. And Taylor, I hope all of you have been very happy with Taylor as we have all been here with the county.
We love Taylor. She's been doing a fantastic job. Our officers enjoy having her with them.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. That does not surprise me.
No, she's great.
She really
And
is.
she's helped our officers on many calls.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for the continued partnership. Today I'm here to talk about our food drive. So Bucks County Human Services Division, in collaboration with Magellan Behavioral Health of Pennsylvania and Montgomery County Department of Health and Human Services, is coordinating its third annual Bucks County, Montgomery County Food Drive from September 16th through November 1st, with a goal of collecting 3,000 pounds of donations. And the beneficiaries of this food drive are the Bucks County Community Council for all the donations here in Bucks County, and the Montgomery Anti-Hunger Network for all the donations in Montgomery County. And so thank you to Morrisville Township and Morrisville Police Department for graciously agreeing to be one of the 15 drop-off locations across both counties, and to include Yardley and Quakertown Police Departments, local hospitals, local libraries, and community locations. And thank you for participating in this comprehensive effort to address food insecurity within our communities. So on September 13th and 16th, Magellan will be dropping off bins and boxes flyers and easels with poster boards to advertise the food drive. And the Bucks County Opportunity Council will be picking up the donations every 2 weeks or earlier if needed. And BCOC will be collaborating and calling our co-responder Taylor to coordinate the pickups. So please contact either of us if you have any questions, concerns, or if you need any additional flyers, because the flyers will be coming very soon. I will be getting some tomorrow, but I will also ask Taylor to email the digital flyer to everyone as well. So do you have any questions?
Do we know where the food boxes are going, or is it just right here in the hallway?
No, I don't know where they're going, wherever you want them.
Wherever the highest traffic is.
Okay, because we want to just make sure the residents know where to. Should it be outside or should it be inside?
Inside, I think.
Do you want to put it in the vestibule or in the hallway?
Downstairs in the vestibule, I think.
Okay.
I'll talk with the chief and John and see what everybody thinks. We'll work it out. And we'll have them in a prominent spot for everybody. So
Sounds good.
Okay.
Wonderful.
So residents come bring your food and drop it off. It'll be down in the vestibule at Borough Hall.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us be a part of it. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Good night.
Next, we have Bob Jones from Waste Management. The Waste Management has been a great partner for us, especially in supporting our motor carrier program. Last year, they gave us $65,000 for the truck traffic officer, and I don't know what they're doing this year. It was a surprise. Is it a good surprise?
Well, it's equal to last year. Listen.
Oh, fantastic.
So, good evening, first of all, members of council, Mr. Mayor. Welcome, Jim, to Morrisville Borough. Waste Management's a long-standing partnership with Morrisville when it comes to traffic safety and truck motor carrier safety. We've been doing this for years, and we're happy to support this program. Along with that, we're also happy to support the Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission's decision to redesignate the intermodal connector on Pennsylvania Avenue. We're on that committee together, as you know, Helen, and we do support that decision, and hopefully it'll be granted soon through PennDOT. So
we have a meeting to discuss it. And for those of you that don't know, Waste Management has been really good to Morrisville. They tell all their trucks to go down Tyburn Road and to stay off of South Pennsylvania Avenue. They give flyers out. Anytime I have taken a picture and sent it to Bob, he takes care of it. I send him videos, I send him pictures, right?
You're one of my digital friends.
Yes. So, but they're always telling their trucks to go down Tyburn Road and stay out of our town.
That's our goal anyhow, and we'll continue to do that no matter what. So with that said, again, we're able to support the program again for this year. I did have the opportunity to meet Officer House earlier this year, the gentleman that's being trained to do these inspections, the DOT inspections, and he appears to be the right person for the job from what I can tell. So,
he is. He's really tough on the trucks.
Yeah, and I've seen, he's done some work out at the site with us and Falls Township folks, so it's great to see that this donation at work. Right?
Yes.
So with that said, again, for this year, we were able to pull together a safety grant in the amount of $65,000 for the borough.
Wow. Lou, do you want to come up and accept it? No, it's all you. Come on, come and get it. Come on down.
Come on up, Lou. So this is, in 2 years, this is $130,000 towards the truck program that is not costing the taxpayers a dime. Right, not a grant, not a loan, nothing. This is
We call public safety grants.
public safety grants.
From a private institution.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you supporting us all the time. You know Lou, correct?
Yep. Come on over here, Lou. Steve, grab hold of that. You want in the middle, right? Yep. Rob. Thank you.
Okay, all good news. Next, we have a commendation recognition for County Suicide Hotline dispatcher Ryan Hoffman, who went above and beyond to help someone in crisis. I think, Ryan, are you here? Come on up. So Ryan, I know the mayor is going to talk about it, but while Ryan's coming up, he went above and beyond working with our officers in order to help someone and locate them.
Hang over here. We'll address the crowd. So thank you, Ryan, for joining us tonight. We wanted to recognize this heroic action that you did for this individual. On July 5th, Morrisville PD was dispatched at approximately 20:26 hours in response to a report of a suicide individual for whom Lenape Valley had just faxed a 302 warrant. The situation was critical as the individual's whereabouts were unknown, and the initial leads provided the police yielded no results. In the midst of the challenging situation, Ryan displayed exceptional diligence and commitment, going well beyond the typical scope of duty. After Morrisville PD provided him with the patient's phone number, Ryan not only took the initiative to call the individual, but also managed to engage in a meaningful conversation with him. This was no small feat given the circumstances. During their conversation, the individual mentioned being in front of his home. However, when Morrisville PD checked the location, the individual was not there. At this moment, Ryan utilized his skills and keen sense of observation to listen closely. He was able to pick up subtle audio cues, a crosswind, and the sound of passing train. This crucial information led our officers to the corner of Green Street and Washington Street, where the individual was safely located and transported to the hospital. I firmly believe that Ryan played a pivotal role in ensuring the safety and well-being of this individual. His quick thinking, professionalism, and dedication potentially saved a life that night, especially considering the serious natures of the threats the individual had made to Lenape. Ryan, your actions exemplify true acts of service, courage, and compassion. It is for these reasons that we are honored to present you with the Civic Bravery Award. Your efforts are deeply appreciated, and your commitment to the safety of our community does not go unnoticed. Thank you for your outstanding service. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan, for your dedication. Okay, next, Rosetta, I don't know how many residents know, but Rosetta Jazz Cafe at 826 West Bridge Street at the old Squirrel's Nest. Unfortunately, I was at a funeral service and they were doing the food, and it's exceptional. So I just want to give them a shout out. Any new businesses or businesses that would like to be recognized, they can let us know. But they're also going to start doing some jazz in September on weekends. So that's Rosetta Jazz Cafe. Also, Winterfest. I know that It was turned back over to the borough. Donna Fernandez Wilson couldn't do it anymore. So the good news is that Imagine Morrisville has volunteered to take that on. So that's good news. So the Winterfest will continue. So community outreach, I just want to remind the residents that the CAC committee is going to meet in September. So if anybody is interested in working with the borough and trying to get things moving, whether it's getting grants or trying to enhance the community, please reach out to anyone on council and we will direct you. I will also let you know what date that will be. Over to the left, you'll see there are two metal signs. They were made by the residents who did the contest for the Bird Town. These are going to go up around the borough. So every year when they do this contest, we're going to choose a handful. They did this. We chose these because they weren't 3D and they were the easiest to reprint. So all we're waiting for is an okay from the parents for permission to put these up. But you'll start noticing do not litter signs throughout the borough with the Bird Town contest winners. So if anybody wants to see that, they're sitting there looking while we get the permissions. Next, council, everybody always talks about the corner of Philadelphia Avenue and South Delmore. We always say, oh, that's open space over there by the dog park, you know, at the corner of Philadelphia, South Delmore. So talking with some borough employees, we were talking about naming that corner. Some things, some names that came up were Constitution Park and Colvin Ferry Park. So for those of you that don't know, Colvin Ferry was the ferry that brought George Washington back into Morrisville after he defeated Trenton. So council, I'd like you to think about what you would like to name that, and I'll put it on the agenda for a motion next month. But if anybody else has any other ideas, please let us know. I myself personally like Colvin Ferry, but majority wins. Anybody have any comment on that? Okay. So also the alcohol policy. I'm going to just talk about that because there's been some commentary that I stopped alcohol in the park, which is absolutely not true. We have an ordinance that has alcohol in the park, and that ordinance has very specific items in talking about fees that need to be met and paid to the borough, police officers that need to be paid in order to monitor the events, public works, code enforcement, the borough manager, the admin staff. So some of these items were not being abided by, and that's why alcohol in the park did not happen. Does the solicitor want to say anything, or?
Just briefly, I mean, this is, I think Morrisville and Mr. Dillon, who's got way more municipal experience than all of us, can attest that Morrisville kind of stands alone in that most municipalities in this area just don't have this policy permitting alcohol in public parks. You can't do it in county parks, state parks. And obviously there's certain, not dram shop liability, but there are other issues that come along with it. And obviously extra police needed, extra costs that are going to be borne by or incurred by the borough. So we were never crazy about it and still aren't crazy about it.
I don't think you should have alcohol on public property. I don't think you should permit it. I don't think any county or any municipality that I'm aware of allows it to be on public property. I think potential risk and insurance impact. So I would strongly recommend that you do not permit alcohol on your public property.
Madam President, if I could make a comment. I'd also like to say, just based on the first thing you said, that there was some commentary that you made a decision. I'd like to point out that there are 8 Borough Council representatives, and so far there have been no decisions in which Helen by herself or any one of us by ourselves have made a decision that didn't get in front of all of us. So it doesn't work that way. I just want to make that comment.
Thank you, Melissa. So in terms of the alcohol policies, we did have a meeting at the Policy and Ordinance Committee where a few of us council people were there. And one of the things that was discussed is that alcohol policy was made really for outside people that would come in, not for borough events, such as it was mentioned if JayZ came into town. So I don't think that's going to happen. So Council, do you want to direct the attorney to make a ordinance? What is the proper phrasing? To make an ordinance to direct you to rescind the alcohol policy?
It would be to direct the solicitor to draft an ordinance to rescind the public park alcohol ordinance, or alcohol in public parks ordinance.
Is that something council is interested in doing?
If that means to make it non-lawyer-like, that we would have a no alcohol policy in the park, that would be perfect.
Yeah, you would basically have an ordinance to get rid of the ordinance that permitted the alcohol. So you're undoing or getting rid of that ordinance.
That works. That would be perfect. In my opinion, that would be a good idea.
So we would do that. Obviously, with ordinances, there's certain public notice requirements, advertisement requirements. So we would draft it. It can be reviewed, can get input on it, and then after that, you would then vote to advertise to eventually pass or not pass that ordinance.
Is that so? Anybody else? Do you want the solicitor to do that?
I would say yes, we do.
So just so you know, this is to rescind the ordinance where JayZ would come into town.
JayZ is still allowed to come to town, and if he's listening, you're welcome in Morrisville.
You are
anytime,
welcome in Morrisville.
as well as your family.
But what I think we need to do is if we're going to have, like, for instance, the car show, there was alcohol served at the car show. The borough had nothing to do with it. You can go to the Liquor Control Board and get a permit, and then you can have it at your event. This is just so that this is not being done on borough property. So
Just wanted to add one other thing, if I may. There's also issues with the leases of the park. Because the leases from the church do not permit alcohol, and there's issues as to where that would be taking place, and so you could be violating that as well, which is additional legal issues that you just don't want to have. So, and failed to mention that before. I just wanted to include that.
plus there are insurance issues. We have to contact our insurance company in order to let them know that there's going to be alcohol, which will increase our fees.
Correct. You could do that, and again, even though there's no dram shop liability, you could still get dragged into litigation for other reasons, including that. And so your insurance carrier would still have to defend you, which could ultimately affect rates. And again, there could be other civil liability as well, even outside of that. So there's trying to protect the borough. That's part of the reason we're not in favor of this. It just opens up some exposure that you can otherwise easily avoid.
So for clarity, just to make sure I'm understanding, this is a question of rescinding any opportunity to have alcohol in a borough-owned or public space due to safety issues as well as insurance costs and other costs, right? So this is just about whether or not, if it's borough-owned property, whether or not alcohol can be there. And the concern is that it increased costs to the borough.
Increased costs.
And safety concerns.
Correct. There's a slew of reasons, but yeah, this would be in public parks. Again, you could still have it a private event as a car show or anything like that. You can get a special event permit so that you're allowed to sell alcohol. That's a private thing between that organization and the Liquor Control Board. This would be, you can't have it on, our public parks.
And you're not asking us to vote on that today.
No,
You're asking us to vote to allow you to write an ordinance that we would vote on.
Correct, because any ordinance has certain requirements for public notice. So this would be directing our office to draft that ordinance for your review, any feedback or comment. After that's finalized, then you would vote on the final product to then have it publicly advertised. And then you would, after that period is over, then you would vote to actually pass it. So there is a process you have to go through, and this would start that process.
Thank you, Adam.
So in Yardley, next to the funeral home, they've had events up there, and then in Butwood Park and Washington's Crossing, there's been events up there. And our car show, so we're saying about having alcohol at our car show is because it's on the street, and the street's not a park. Is that
correct? You're allowed to get a special event permit through the Liquor Control Board to have for these like 1 day or 2 day events that give you a temporary permit to sell alcohol.
Let me clarify.
Which is a different process than having a full-blown liquor license.
So if you had let's say you had a concert in the park, you wouldn't, even if you had this special 1 day thing, you wouldn't be allowed to do it in the park, but you could do it on Bridge Street.
Correct.
You shut the street down
This is
for an
for the ordinance that was passed permitted alcohol in public parks. And what we're saying is Morrisville is one of the few, if only, places in the area that allows alcohol in a borough park. Most municipalities do not allow it in their parks, counties, states. So this would be bringing Morrisville kind of back in line with the surrounding community. You could still have it in other areas. We're not saying you can't patronize bars or drink alcohol. This isn't prohibition. It's just not allowing it on public parks. And again, even if you wanted to, there's certain issues with the lease from the churches that could potentially be violated and create other legal issues.
Let me clarify the part about the car show. Neither the Morrisville Business Association nor British Cars of Bucks County got a liquor license. Ashland Distillery got one, and they were selling shooters basically to those who wanted. The bar, Scott, with Roger Sherman, what's the name of that bar? What's the name of the bar on Bridge Street? Robert Morris. Their door was open. You could walk into Robert Morris and buy a drink. And then same thing with the microbrewery. So those private businesses who already have a permit from liquor control could get another license to be able to serve it outside, which Ashland did. They actually got a permit for the entire year, so they can do 50 events off-site through the course of the year.
Ashland set up a thing, and then there's two places on Bridge Street, and they kind of piggyback off of what Mr. Dillon said.
Yeah.
And Bristol Borough does not allow it anywhere. Bristol Borough has events that have 5 to 10 to 20,000 people at them, and they're not selling alcohol.
We should be so fortunate we get there.
You can duck into a bar and get a drink, but
that's right.
Like the Italian Fest and the street walk down there, like they're Italian Fest, I've seen pictures. Maybe 20,000 is an exaggeration, but maybe over the course of the weekend, if it's a 3-day fest, there's a lot of people there, and there's no alcohol.
When we get to that point, I'm sure we'll be happy to revisit it. But right now, the car show's not at that point.
Hey, council, do you want to do a consensus to direct the solicitor? Does that mean that it's voted to proceed? It's just that we're going to have the solicitor do a ordinance to repeal the other ordinance. So we got a yes?
Yes. Yes for me.
Luke is a yes?
Yep. You can make a motion and then second and have it that way. It's a little easier.
So the motion, could you read the motion, Adam?
It would be a motion to direct the solicitor's office to draft an ordinance to repeal the prior ordinance. I don't have the exact ordinance number
Okay.
that permitted alcohol sales in borough parks.
Can I, Andrew, would you make the motion?
So moved.
Luke, would you second the motion?
Second.
Do we have any other further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes 7-0. So Andrew Flager and Associates will take care of that. Okay. We don't have an engineering report tonight, but just to remind everyone, the streets will be paved next year. So we're looking forward for that engineer report when that comes to us. We don't have anything from the borough manager, but I can tell you he's doing a great job. I'm so happy that he's here. Council, anybody else want to say anything?
I'll second.
I'm going to try and talk him into staying here. What do you think? Yeah. Okay, solicitor report. Anything from the solicitor?
Nothing, just Labor Day weekend is coming up, so urging everyone to be careful on the roads, take extra time, be aware of your surroundings, especially if you're traveling to or from the Jersey Shore, anywhere that weekend. Just be safe and enjoy the rest of the summer.
Oh, thank you. Police chief report. Chief Ciampa, how are you tonight? How's your month been here with us?
Take 3 at the podium. I'm not going to try to move it tonight. Okay. Can everyone hear me? Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. All right. No, I don't. So just to go over the report from the statistics from the month of July, I'll go through briefly, and I'll just explain just a couple of trends and some things that are noteworthy. So the Part 1 offenses are the most serious offenses. Those are your murder, rape, robbery, aggravated assault, burglary, thefts, bicycle thefts, and vehicle thefts. We had 2 robberies and 2 burglaries that are being investigated, and we had 42 thefts. 42 thefts. The majority of those are retail thefts from the Giant store. So the good news is of that, our officers effected 24 arrests for those thefts. So we're able to investigate these, and we're working toward resolving some of these issues by making arrests and hopefully getting some sort of restitution. The vehicle thefts, we had 12 vehicle thefts in the month of July. Now that is a high number. We put reminders out to the residents through social media to reminder to lock your doors, take your keys, and not make it easy for car thieves. I just wanted to point out that the majority, 8 of these vehicle thefts, were in the area of Plaza Boulevard, Melvin, Renard, and Carlisle. So there seemed to be somewhat of a hit in that area up in the western end, northern western end. So again, we've discussed about putting more patrols to increase the presence in those areas, but it has been getting a little better. The other area of thefts that I talked about before, which was a concern, I did meet with Jason, who is the loss prevention manager, I guess, at Giant, and they have a camera out there now. And I don't know if anybody's noticed, but we resumed posting pictures and names in Crime Watch. So I think that's a good thing, and maybe it's just going to be a deterrent for some people who would think about shoplifting over at Giant and other places and maybe not do it. And the reason I bring that up is because when I started here back in early July, I would get the patrol logs from Kathy, and I would take out my highlighters and color code the different offenses. So I had pink for thefts, yellow for, pink for retail thefts, yellow for thefts, and green for motor vehicle thefts. And it was pretty colorful in the beginning of the month. The good news is, and maybe it's a combination of the social media posts that we put out, a little bit of the speaking with residents and the camera, speaking with loss prevention, the work that our officers are putting in, and maybe Crime Watch. The last report that I have from Kathy has just about no highlighter on it, and the one before was pretty good. So we're moving in a better trend. So I'm happy to say that. So again, I think that July is always a busy month in policing. and we're moving away from the summer, which is a good thing. We just got Officer Carlin and Officer Williamson, so where our patrol numbers are going to increase, we'll be able to direct more resources toward these problem areas, and I think we're going to continue to see that trend get better, hopefully, and less highlighter. So the Part 2 offenses are your less serious offenses, and just in total, there were 38 of those last month. That number is actually down 12% from this time last or year-to-date last year, so that's a good thing. In addition, our officers issued 109 citations last month, which was up 29 from the previous month of June. So again, we're moving in the right direction. We will talk about that motor carrier position, and we're going to get Corporal Hallis back out doing that. And I just wanted to mention that this year's National Night Out was a huge success. The mayor, Nicole, Kathy, Lou were all a tremendous part of that, but also because of the residents that came out to support us. So we look forward to building a bigger event next year and making it just great for everybody.
Could you just repeat one more time and tell the residents that Lou will be out there doing motor carrier with the trucks again?
Lou will be out there doing motor carrier with the trucks again.
Thank you.
I spoke to Lou briefly about it, and I think it's something that we're also going to be able to extend through the rest of the department, because we have these funds, so we should utilize them and put out these patrols. So we'll talk more, and I'll tell you a plan that we can devise and implement. You mentioned the park next to the dog park, that corner there. I also wanted to mention that we now have signs up there that are hopefully going to discourage anybody who may drive on that park and do damage that's been done in the past.
So just for the residents, there was 2 incidences there where I don't know if it's the same person or not, but they were doing wheelies in the park. Donuts, I'm sorry, wheelies, donuts. And they ruined the park pretty badly.
So we had some really nice signs made up with
and cameras are put up.
Monitoring, surveillance, and we're looking out for that. So if anybody should see anything or knows anything, please forward that information to the police, because
and it's all anonymous.
We cannot do without the help of the public. So there are signs there. I also want to congratulate Officer Carlin and Officer Williams on their appointment. The level of experience that they come to our department is without a doubt going to be a great addition and an asset for us. And I just wanted to echo the sentiment from the mayor with Ryan Hoffman. I've done plenty of awards presentations in my old life of a police officer, and I talk about the extraordinary police work. And this isn't necessarily, he's not a police officer, but what he did is extraordinary in that, the decisions that he made have a direct impact on life and death. And he was able to use his training experience, but also go ahead and go that extra mile, because he could have just taken that information, hung up the phone, dispatched the police, and left it on us. But he didn't. He made a decision, and he went further, and because of it, somebody may be alive today. So that's all I have, unless you have any questions for me, and I thank you for your time.
I'm good. Counsel, any questions?
Yes, not a question, a compliment. How nice to be able to do that with the police chief now. Your officers and the hookah bar, your officers have turned the hookah bar situation around 100%. I had a call Saturday night for the first time in probably 4, maybe 6 weeks at 0200 closing time or 0300. Your officers are there. They walk in, and minutes later the crowd comes out. They're out. They're under control. They're not throwing bottles. Nobody's doing donuts in the parking lot. I've had neighbors tell me they no longer fear the weekends, so thank you very much, and please make sure your officers know how well they're appreciated.
I appreciate that, and I'll extend that to them. And I know that this weekend was actually probably one of the busier ones there.
I would have called it the worst, but that's because I live next to it.
It wasn't a good one, and it wasn't a good situation, but we are addressing those issues. We are addressing the violations. I've been in contact with the owner, and other steps are being taken to help remedy this issue.
Chief, if I've got to get up and make a call at 2:30, which I did, when I walk out to the front and I see one of your officers out there and the squad car's got the lights on, I can't be happier. Then it's worth getting up.
I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
Quick question. This is probably for Corporal Hallis. Any word on the Tahoe? Is that going to be delivered soon?
I could answer that. I don't think he's here. So I was just contacted by the upfitter because the Tahoe, I guess, is delivered to the upfitter, and then he wanted to know how we want that car set up. So it's close. I don't have an exact date yet, and that's just because the manufacturer hasn't released that car yet. Once they do, it'll go to the upfitter, all the equipment will be installed, and then it'll be put into service. And Corporal House will be part of that because he'll be primarily driving that car, so I want him to be involved with the upfitting
Right.
so he can help design the inside of that car.
It's completely out of our hands right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
And just for the public, the Tahoe is not being paid by the residents. It is being paid by another corporation. That's an $80,000 car in order to help the motor carrier officer, and it's all a donation. Everyone's supposed to clap.
So I do just want to add a little bit of numbers in here for our additional wonderful resource that we have with Taylor. So she, from 7/20 to 8/19, she served 16 clients, total encounters of 42. Total time spent with clients is 11 hours and 31 minutes. So we couldn't be happier of having her on board down there. She's a great fit for the team as well, but also for the community. So we truly appreciate what she does.
She's a tremendous asset to this department because we need her here, and she is providing those resources, and she knows where to get the resources, and she's allowing the officers to be freed up when they can be to go do police work. So we're happy to have her.
And National Night Out was really nice. Those of you who didn't make it, next year, make sure you put it on your calendar, and you could see Officer DeLuca do the bouncy house. She's standing in the back for people could see that.
Don't forget about the Kid Academy as well with her and Officer Leonhauser running around. I'll get to that later on.
We have one of the bike winners here too. Was that a bike?
That's my nephew.
Your nephew won a bike? Congratulations.
Very nice.
My niece won the Sesame Pass.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. The officers did a great job in getting things done for the kids.
And again, the civilian staff, Kathy and
Yes.
Nicole, were fantastic.
They were fantastic too.
It was a big
Yes, all of them were.
And the mayor.
Also, a little shout out here to the mayor with the cost of the event. There were donations, but the National Night Out wasn't completely paid for, and the mayor went out and did not come up here and say I need money. He went out and he got $1,000 donation from a business. I believe it was Britain. Gave you $1,000. So National Night Out did not cost the taxpayers a dime.
Okay, thank you, Chief. You have anything else?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, next is a consent agenda. Approval of minutes from the 7/16/24 council meeting and approval of the bill list from 7/1 to 7/31 in the amount of $200,781.31. Marie, would you make that motion?
So moved.
Catherine, would you second? Seconded. Okay, first and a second, any discussion? Anything from the public? No? Okay. We have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes 7-0. We have a motion to approve a new 5-year 2025 to 2029 collective bargaining agreement with AFSCME. Can I, Scott Robinson, would you make a motion?
So moved.
Melissa, would you second?
Second.
Motion and a second. So this actually was a really great collective bargaining that occurred. There were no winners. The borough and the workers worked really hard together in order to come up with an agreement. And I just want to thank them for being cooperative and discussing, and I want to thank the union reps for also being good negotiators and coming to this positive outcome. So I just want to let the public know that it's a 5-year contract. The wage increases is going to be 4%, 3.5%, 3%, 3%, 3%. The workday is going to increase from 8 hours to 8.5 hours. They will get 3 new holidays: Martin Luther King, Juneteenth and Christmas Eve. They were paid $25 per day for sick day up to a maximum of $4,000 for sick leave, but their sick leave is limited, so we are just paying them $40 a day. They are increasing their contribution to the medical and healthcare system, so they are up for 4 years at 1.75% of their base salary, and then in the last year it goes up to 2%. They are also going to start paying toward their dental, which is $5 per pay period. The rest of this stuff is just little stuff. It is public information, so once the contract is drafted, it will be available if anybody is interested in it. The one last thing is that our Public Works, we're giving them an allowance of $300 to purchase boots. So council, any questions, any commentary? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes 7-0. Motion to approve, I'm sorry, did anybody in the public want to talk? Okay, good, okay. Motion to approve advertisement of an ordinance adopting the International Fire Code 2018 edition as published by the International Code Council. Andrew, would you make the motion? Melissa, would you second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments from council? Comments from the public? Okay, can we take all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes 7-0. Motion to approve advertisement of an ordinance adopting the International Property Maintenance Code 2018 edition as published by the International Code Council. Catherine, would you make the motion?
I so move.
Marie, would you second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Anything from the public? Okay, let's take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes 7-0. Do we have any public comment on non-agenda items? I see Cheryl Vogel signed up.
It's Sherry.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, you're not the first. Okay, Sherry Vogel, Highland Avenue. I wanted to bring up two issues. The first one I've already brought up, but I want to bring it up again. We have some continued concerns about the upcoming sale of 859 Crown Street, and my husband actually emailed, I think pretty much everyone on this panel with some follow-up questions, but he didn't get any response. And we've heard that there was just a directive not to respond on this issue. So I just wanted to say that I don't really understand that position, and if it's true, I'm concerned about it. Second, I wanted to know when it is that we do our financial reconciliation, like do our books, and when did we do it last? And I'm asking this because I've heard it's been some time. And perhaps related, I see we have a vacancy for a treasurer and for a finance director, and I have some people that I could suggest that might be interested in such a job. So I'd love to know if there is a listing, because I looked around on the website and I don't see a job posting. So thank you. That's everything.
Thank you very much. The mayor comments. Mayor report.
Thank you. Good evening. Again, I am thrilled to share that our National Night Out event last week was a tremendous success. Seeing the joy on the kids' faces and the wonderful turnout is exactly what Morrisville needed. It was heartwarming to witness our community come together in such a positive way. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to Chief, Nicole, Kathy, Taylor, Lou, and all the officers who played a crucial role in planning and executing this fantastic event. Your hard work and dedication truly made this event special. A big thank you also goes out to the county for the grant money that made this event possible, along with Britain Industries as well. We also thank Nick's Pizza, Anthony's Pizza, and Giant for their donations to keep everyone hydrated and full. Unfortunately, I must announce that we will be postponing the mayor's picnic, originally scheduled for the 31st. Please stay tuned for a new date. We're looking forward to coming together again soon. As the start of the school quickly approaches, I want to remind everyone to be extra mindful on the roads. Our kids will be out walking, so please follow traffic rules and drive with caution to ensure their safety. Lastly, I'm excited to cheer on the Morrisville Bulldogs at their first home football game this Friday at 7. I hope to see a great turnout to support our team. Again, what Adam had mentioned, we do have Labor Day coming up, so everyone please enjoy the holiday weekend and please be safe. Wishing everyone a wonderful rest of the summer. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Council member comments? Anyone on council have anything to say?
I have something to say.
Go ahead.
This is regarding the Jazz Fest. It had to be canceled due to, there was supposed to be a storm. So we're trying to work to get everybody together, and the two dates we were hoping to have would either be Sunday, September 29th or Sunday, October the 6th.
And Mayor, when did you want to have yours? Okay, I thought you set a date. I didn't want them to correspond. Okay.
I don't have one just yet.
Can we vote on that or? Yeah. I'm checking to see if we could add it to the agenda because it's not on the agenda because of the sunshine law. You're not supposed to add items 24 hours before a meeting. Okay. So I'm asking the solicitor, can we make a motion?
I don't know. I don't know any rules. How to be out.
As long as we're not, we can add that within because it's not an emergency. We will have another meeting before then, but if we're not spending money, we can.
It's not a.
Well, we're waiving fees again, or I don't know how does that work? Are we waiving fees again, or it just carries over? Yeah, but it just carries.
My understanding is everything's already been done. You're just changing the date.
Yes.
Everything's done.
Yes. So that's
okay. Okay.
No, I just wanted to go over some of the logistical.
So should we put it on the agenda? Should we do a consensus and say it's okay and put it on September's agenda?
I don't know that it's it. I'm sorry, I wasn't on. Again, you're just moving a date of something that was previously scheduled, so.
Okay.
Do it now.
Council okay with the 29th of September for the Jazz Fest and or October 6th? Both days are Sundays.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you want to figure out the date and then do it in September, you could do that as well.
Okay. So
if you don't know when it is right now, you're not really making a motion for a definitive date anyway.
So if the Jazz Fest organizers want to work with the borough staff to figure out a date, is council okay with having the Jazz Fest moved to the new date?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Yes. I don't have an issue with it. I just have a question.
Sure.
I'm just really confused, and perhaps because this is like my first year here, but I thought that the Jazz Fest was a private citizen's request or part of, I don't know, is it part of Parks and Recreation? Like, I'm trying to figure out why it's not just going on the application downstairs to change the date. Like, why?
I don't know. You're absolutely right, because it's not part of the rec committee, correct, Catherine?
It is part of the rec committee. It is a foundation event. It's been sponsored for 21 years by the Borough Council. And all that sponsorship is doing is it just waived the stage fee. And that was it.
Stage, insurance?
No, she has an insurance carrier.
Porta potties?
Yeah, the porta potty.
Yeah. Go ahead, Melissa.
Sounds like it should be on paperwork. I'm just saying that I'm a little confused.
Okay, so the organizer of the Jazz Fest should go and talk to the Alpha staff, and nobody on council has a problem with the date change, right?
No.
Is that what I'm getting?
Yes.
Okay, then Marie, tell them to work with the office staff.
I will.
Okay.
Well, yeah. And I have one more thing. This is just, I'm only the council person for the 4th Ward. However, I would like this to spread throughout Morrisville. I would like everyone to try to go green on the 13th day of every month. That's because it's my grandson's birthday. But I came on to council to try to make a positive difference for all of us. And I don't care what anybody chooses to do. Like, don't do laundry that day or let your car sit in the driveway. I don't care what. But I'm just asking everyone to try to be more conscious of the environment, not for us, for the children that are coming behind us. They have to live on this earth. Try not to let your car idle. I'm just asking people to be mindful and just pick that day. And it's your choice. And that's all. I'm finished.
Thank you, Marie. Mayor has one more thing.
Did forget to announce it, but it was a great honor that I was asked to officiate my first wedding as mayor. So on the 30th of July, it was a wonderful event here at Borough Hall. I was able to officiate a lovely couple's nuptials. And it was great, though. Absolutely wonderful. So thank you.
Mayor, I would use you if I were getting married.
Thank you. I need to practice.
Any other council members? Okay, committee updates. Any committee updates? No, okay. Scott, would you make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Luke, second it?
Second.
Motion and a second, adjourned.